What does it take to bounce back from a hard day? My name is Coach Quiggy. I'm a self-confidence coach, a meditation teacher. I work with young leaders, but I hope and know that this will be inspiring and supportive to all of y'all out there because we all have hard days. We all have off days. That's just a part of life. And what can be really supportive to us is to learn the tools to build the competency and the resiliency to manage those hard days without getting sucked into the quicksand that is the pit of despair. So I want to share a little bit about a hard day that I had yesterday and how I bounced back. And I want to pull out the pieces, the pieces of an equation that I've created to support you in moving forward through the hard days that you may have, will have coming up, or maybe in the midst of. So long story short, I have been working through some insomnia issues for the past year and a half or so. We're like 80% of the way healed, but I still have off nights and they can still be brutal. And I had one 2 nights ago. And so yesterday I woke up just absolutely destroyed. It's like this physiological and cognitive emotional drain and exhaustion. I call it the cosmic background radiation. For those of you who are space aficionados or look to the stars will know what I'm talking about. But it's just this sense of drain that just exists in my body throughout the day. I'm at like 60-70%. It's such a drag. It sucks so hard, and it makes me just want to crawl up into a hole and avoid life and cry and be a victim. And I've spent a lot of time being in that space, and I do have to process a bit of that victimhood in the first moments, and then I have to shift gears. So waking up on a day where I had responsibilities to attend to, and yet I am exhausted and really just don't want to do this. I don't want to do this at all. What do I do? So first of all, I give myself lots and lots of grace. I let myself sleep in. I was very slow with my morning routine. I meditated to make sure that I am calming my nervous system. I'm drinking my coffee, and then I'm showing up for my responsibility for this meeting that I have. And the grace that I'm giving in the context of my responsibilities is to just really take the pedal off of perfectionism. I know that I'm not at my best. I know that I'm not going to show up perfectly. And I can give myself that compassion. I did give myself that compassion. I wasn't perfect in the meeting. I wish I was a little bit more in tune with what was going on, but I was doing the best that I could, and I let that be enough. So I show up for my responsibility, continue to give myself a lot of space in the afternoon. The caffeine is giving me a little bit of a boost, so I'm being creative. And then there's a meeting that I can show up for, or I could not show up for. And I decided that I was going to make it to this meeting because I have something that I'm working towards. I have a purpose that's pulling me, and this is an opportunity that I want to make it to. And with that grace in tow, I was able to show up to this meeting and take advantage of the opportunity without beating myself up about the fact that I wasn't 100%. And I'm really grateful that I did that. And afterward, I find myself creating and working. But what I notice is that my mind is highly self-critical. I'm in this space where I'm recording a video such as this, and I'm just beating myself up instead of, just kind of letting it come out and letting it be enough. I'm constantly critiquing. I notice that the self-critic is up. And so grace is huge. Showing up is huge. And then this was a really pivotal moment for me. It was recognizing that the state that I was in today was going to be highly self-critical and was going to be miserable. My body, my mind was just miserable. And acknowledging that, naming that, and saying, hey, you know what? Today's not the day to push. Today is right now. So this is in the afternoon. I had shown up for my responsibilities, even the one that I didn't have to do, I could have canceled. And I said, hey, you know what? It's time to let things go today. It's time to just take care of myself. So what did I do? I put it down. I said, hey, no more creating today. Took Instagram and TikTok off my phone so I'm not tempted to get into that space. And I took my ass out for a long walk and a nice Italian dinner. And at dinner, I journaled. And what I did was I zoomed out. I looked at the big picture. What's going on? Because my mind had really gotten narrowed in and critical of, the video looks shitty and you don't sound good and you didn't do good. And in noticing that, what I knew that I needed to do was kind of zoom out. And so in journaling with myself, I acknowledged, hey, what's the bigger picture here, and why am I getting so caught up in the minutia? And the journaling practice that I did that was the most powerful shift for me during that day, during yesterday, was, what are the things that I'm most proud of today? And when I reflected on that, I was really proud that I gave myself grace in the morning. I was really proud that I showed up to this second meeting because I have a mission and I'm sticking to it. Even if I'm not at my best, I'm going to make it happen. That felt really in integrity. And I'm really grateful. I'm really proud that I have given myself, let myself off the hook beyond what my responsibilities are to just take care of myself. Those are three of several things that I'm really proud of. And what that did is it shifted my energy. It shifted my energy back into me and continuing to deepen a sense of self-care. And later on that evening, I watched some things that felt nice. I did a little bit of overeating, so there was a little bit of, kind of pleasure seeking. And to a certain extent, that's okay, but overdoing it can be not so in support of you taking care of yourself on a day such as this. And in the evening, I took a long walk. It was a beautiful snow, like fresh snow on the trees. And it was just like the light was shining through and it was gorgeous. And I left my phone at home and I really just took the time to be in my body. And I practiced a self-compassion meditation. I did some Qigong. I did some shaking. I really just paid attention to and held space for this feeling that was nagging me the whole day, which is this perpetual feeling of like, it's not enough. You're not enough. And what I notice is that I'm super scattered and there's an expectation that I shouldn't be, that I should be super present. And when I noticed and named that scatteredness and accepted it and acknowledged and allowed myself on a deeper level to be at 60, 50, 70%, whatever it was, I relaxed even more deeply. I released this pain that I was carrying with me. And I wound down, went to bed, had a good night's sleep, and today here I am, starting over, getting right back into it, meditation, gym, coffee here, creating, leaving the perfectionism behind me, not getting sucked in the quicksand. And this is kind of a hodgepodge expression of an experience that I had, but I want to pull out some key themes here. And what I want to direct you to, if you're someone who is in a rut right now, or you know that you get into ruts and you want to build resiliency, I have a free guide called Unstuck Yourself. It's a 5-step process for getting out of any slump, over any hump, and getting your ass back up on the horse quickly, fully, efficiently. And you can download that guide. It's in my bio, whether you're seeing this on Instagram or on YouTube. You can find a free download link to that. And in this guide, there are 5 steps. The first one is awareness. So what triggered me? What's causing this issue? So for me, yesterday, there was awareness from the get-go because I knew that I hadn't slept. But there was a big moment of awareness in the afternoon when I recognized, hey, I'm super critical of myself right now. I am not getting anywhere. I'm going to continue to beat myself up. I'm trying to move forward. I'm trying to work, and yet it feels really miserable. And it's just not worth it. I'm going to let it go. That was a huge moment of awareness, noticing what's triggering you. And you can journal about this. There's guidance in this guide here, or just having a mindfulness practice around it. Secondly is acceptance and holding space for the feelings, feeling your feelings. So I had a big moment in the evening where I was on this walk, and I practiced a meditation that you can find in the guide. It's called RAIN. It means recognize, allow, investigate, and nurture. It's a self-compassion practice. It's an embodiment. It's a practice that helps you process heavy emotions. And you have to turn towards these emotions, hold space for them. And so I had a moment in the evening where I really noticed, wow, I'm feeling this scatteredness, and I'm feeling this expectation that I shouldn't be scattered, and both of them are in conflict and causing me to feel disconnected. And when I noticed them, when I held space for them, they released. I found my feet on the ground. I found my peace again. And it took turning towards. So that's step 2. That's in your guide. It's a guided meditation, like I said, for you. Step 3 is self-care. Lots of it. And in this guide, I suggest that you follow it in order, but as you will notice, I'm hopping around here. Step 3 is self-care, and lots of it. When you're having a hard day, you need to really give yourself good feelings, and this is not just pleasure. Again, I spoke to like how overeating can be, actually not in support of your best interests on a hard day. Addiction is going to more likely put you in the quicksand than help you get out of it. So a little bit of pleasure and enjoyment, take myself out to a nice meal. I'm still eating, lots of vegetables, and a healthy Italian olive oily based dish, I think, was supportive of my digestion and my body, but also it felt good. Lots of self-care, listening to music. I had a nice dessert. I went for a walk. I'm watching something that I enjoy that's intellectually stimulating. These things help bring your energy back up to normal. So maybe I was at 60% and these things bring me back up to 70 to 80. So lots of self-care. That's step 3. Step 4 is reaching out for community and support. Forgot to share that in the afternoon before I went out for my dinner, my partner had just gotten home and I was like, please, can we cuddle? And can I talk? Will you listen to me? And she was so beautifully willing to support me in that, as she always is. And that was huge, to just feel held, to feel seen, to feel heard, to not feel alone. And to be able to reach out is such an important part of how we can support ourselves, and you have that choice to reach out. You have the choice to isolate. You have the choice to reach out and ask for support. And step 5 is baby steps. This is where you take action to get out. All of these things are creating the space and the energy when we may not have it, or we may, be down, to then eventually, inevitably, you must then take steps to move yourself forward, to move yourself out. So for me, it was being really mindful about, not getting stuck in my phone, like taking a walk in the evening without my phone. And that created a space for the self-compassion practice. Having a really good evening routine, doing my Qigong, journaling, and then waking up and starting strong, starting mindful again, getting myself back into the good habits, not getting sucked into, oh, well, I'm having a shitty day, I'm just going to eat a bunch and watch a bunch of Netflix and just veg out, I'm making sure that I'm taking care of myself, because I know that I don't want to get sucked. I don't want to get sucked into the quicksand. So this is an example of how I went through a hard day yesterday, and I'm feeling better today. And it even took me a moment to kind of get the momentum on this video here. And maybe you noticed that energetically. And now I'm moving and vibing. So if you dig this, if this is supportive, please, you can download Unstuck Yourself. It's free. I really would love to support you in that way. And if you dig this video, if you dig what I'm laying down, self-confidence coach for young leaders. But I'm not just talking about I'm amazing kind of confidence. This is deep self-love. This is about relationship with yourself and having an orientation of service to the world around you. So if that's you, you're absolutely in the right place. If you just want to follow along and learn from me and the wisdom that I have to share, please do so as well. I'd love it if you like this video. Please share in the comments what works for you when you're having a hard day, and subscribe. I love you. Have a beautiful day.